Bulldogs get the shot away. Davis makes the save. No, it's in! It's in! First over the lead.
Live from O'Brien Group Arena in Melbourne, this is AIHL TV. The regular season is brought to you by Air Canada, who offer the only daily and non-stop service to Vancouver. For details, visit aircanada.com.au. Owners are a direct infrastructure investor with a portfolio worth in excess of $50 billion. ATC Productions, your live event technical provider. And APA Group, delivering Australia's energy.
And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the O'Brien Group Arena here in Melbourne for this AIHL clash between the Melbourne Mustangs and the Sydney Bears. Well, happy Canada Day to everyone out there. It is Canada Day in the Southern Hemisphere right now, and plenty of Canadians on the ice to celebrate one of their national pastimes here. And, well, the Mustangs, they're coming off a loss against the Melbourne Ice in the third Melbourne Derby of the season on Friday night. And the Bears, well, they went down to the ice last night and putting a little bit of a speed bump in their playoff aspirations. And as for the Mustangs, well, that looks like you're getting more of a distant glimmer on the horizon with each loss they take. And they really need 3 points here this afternoon to have any hope of catching said glimmer on the horizon. My partner, as always, Rod Johns, joining me in the commentary box this afternoon.
And a Canadian.
Indeed. Well, PR. No, seriously. No, I'm just kidding. You got two passports. But
wow, we got a tweet already, man.
Yeah, we'll have to agree.
Mustangs hockey boys are looking mighty fine in. Oh, I'm amazed.
It's fantastic. Yeah, look, great jerseys here this afternoon for the Canada Day Classic. Obviously, the Melbourne Ice had their teddy bear toss, the annual Sydney Bears teddy bear toss last night. Now, thinking about the Mustangs season, obviously the Friday night performance was subpar. You know, it's getting more and more likely that playoff equation is getting almost impossible now. What do you think they got to do?
Well, they certainly have to come out and play a whole lot better than they did on Friday night. You and I both agreed that they stood around waiting for something to happen, and it never really happened. And the only way that they're gonna stay in this competition is to come out firing and take the play to the opposition. In this case, it's Sydney Bears. So both Sydney and the Mustangs, they didn't hit a speed bump, dude. They hit a snowbank.
Yep.
Okay? Because that's a Canadian thing. Get it?
Yeah. As we take a look at the ATC Productions AIHL, let's take a look at that playoff race. The CBR Brave right out on top there at 33 points. They are a whopping 7 points clear of the Sydney Ice Dogs in second place. The Thunder equals second, one game played more than the Sydney Ice Dogs. The North Stars 2 points back in fourth spot. Now the Bears, they have 2 games in hand over the North Stars. Will have one after today, and they are 4 points back. The Ice, with the 2 wins on the weekend and the full 6, on 18 points with the Mustangs. As we saw the games played there, they played 16. They would have played 17 today. If they don't get the 3 points here this afternoon, well, I'd be quite, unfortunately, confident to call it curtains for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think so.
A miracle.
I mean, at the end of the day, without a shadow of a doubt, they need to win this game.
Yep.
They need to keep the Sydney Bears at bay, and they need to get 3 points out of this.
And folks, don't forget, if you do want your tweets on screen during Canada Day, use the hashtag AIHL Game Day, and we'll get them up. I'm sure some of our night owls over there in the Northern Hemisphere from the Great White North will tweet in, hopefully. And for the Sydney Bears, I mean, they're sitting 4 points back behind the North Stars right now. If they get a win, they're only 1 point behind them. Obviously, pending other results today, with the North Stars and the Ice Dogs meet again, this time up in Newcastle. So, look, it's really, I see it, the Bears and North Stars for that last spot.
Absolutely, and that's why this game is very, very important for both teams that are on the ice right now.
Yep.
The Bears can't afford to let this slip, okay?
Yep.
And I'm sure they would have liked to have knocked off Melbourne Ice last night 2-1.
Yep.
Sounds like it was anyone's game.
Yeah.
And they just let it slide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Melbourne Ice too, I mean, look, it's, I'd say that's nearly impossible for them to make the finals there. They need, I think Peter Lambert from the Newcastle North Stars, as he is the ever-present stats head, worked it out that they need more than 2 points per game every game for the rest of the season to make it. So that's a tough ask for anyone to do. But let's go down to centre ice for the Australian and Canadian national anthem here on this Canada Day 2018.
Monash University. Eric is originally from Vancouver and will be performing the ceremonial puck drop tonight. Can I please invite Michael Schlam forward?
All right, that's the pre-game festivities over with here. And, well, Vuvuzela, I don't think I've seen a Canadian-South African, well, it's a World Cup vibe, I guess. But formalities over, let's get to the hockey. And we are set for action here between the Sydney Bears and the Melbourne Ice here at the O'Brien Group Arena. Your starting goaltenders for this evening's game for the Sydney Bears, Anthony Kimlin, 12 games played, 6-6 record, save percentage of .922. And for the Mustangs, Petri Pitkinen getting the nod in net. 12 games played, 3-9, save percentage of .865. And, well, what can we say? It's basically, well, it's not so much a season-defining game for the Sydney Bears, but the Mustangs, it's win or die, basically. Let's call it for what it is.
Well, absolutely, mate. And I think with your mathematically highly intelligent mind, you've worked out that at the end of the day, the chances and odds are getting thinner and thinner by the moment.
Oh yeah, my wife has a different opinion when we're doing the monthly budget. So, all right. Your officials for this evening's game, Casper Russell-Huber and Rob Love wearing the bands, and linesmen Craig Armstrong-Frey and Fraser Olsen, as we are ready for action. Also some news filtering through the CBR Brave Adelaide Adrenaline game, which was set to take place 4:30 Central Standard Time, delayed by at least an hour and a half as the flight from the CBR Brave from Perth to Adelaide was actually cancelled, and they managed to get on another one. So let's hope both teams can get on the ice later this afternoon. And two teams that are on the ice right now, the Mustangs and Bears. That shot in front and is knocked down as Brian Foons gets to a loose puck. Oh, he shoots that into the netting. That's going to be delay a game against Brian Foons. Maybe not. Okay.
Now they're thinking about it.
They must have, surely that must have. Oh, it is, yeah. Okay. Initially, I thought he was skating towards the bench and saying I didn't do it, but Brian Foons commits to delay a game, and the Mustangs with an early penalty here, right?
Well, you know, that's the sort of thing that you don't want to have happen in the first minute of the hockey game, because it gives the Mustangs a bit of an edge, and they need to see what their power play can do.
Penalty, Sydney Bears.
So the Mustangs going to work here on the power play.
14:39.
Against the Melbourne Ice, against the Sydney Bears. Against the Melbourne Ice on Friday night, they were 0 for 5 on the man advantage. They weren't very good at all.
The interesting thing, though, as the game progressed, I thought that they were more in control, but their shooting wasn't right, okay?
Yeah.
So they need to work at that. And I mean, Jamie stepped in, the shot was high right on his chest. That's not what you want, okay? So they need to be more clever about what they're doing.
And the big guns on, Ferguson, Davies, Apps, Burke, and Brendan McDowell, who scored on Friday night. That shot is saved there by Kimlin, and it ends up in the wickets.
And that's exactly what I mean. That was a great low shot, and there's someone right on his doorstep, so if he drops a rebound, it's going to go by him. That's what you want to be doing.
And of course, as we said, two other games tonight. Apart from obviously the Brave and Adrenaline rescheduled game, the Ice Dogs and North Stars in action up in Newcastle, a rematch from Friday night. And another fixture that has bearings on the Bears' chances in terms of their playoff aspirations. Here's Ferguson. One-timer from Burke, and that's kicked out by Kimlin. First meaningful shot of the game in terms of the power play here for the Mustangs. Ferguson now over. He goes to Davies. He shoots, and that's seen all the way by Kimlin, and the whistle is blown as Annesley and Apps have a little discussion.
But, you know, that's a pretty good start for their power play. They're in control. They're moving the puck around. They've had 3 shots on him.
And nearly dribbled over. Kimmer was lucky there in terms of the bounce of the puck, but
absolutely
made the save regardless. 13:57 to go here in period number 1.
He almost had a visitor there.
Yeah, exactly right. Here's a shot from a wide angle from Burke, and that didn't get through, and that's slapped out there by the captain, Michael Schlamp. 13:46 to go. 1:05 left on the penalty to Brian Foons for delaying the game. And the Bears retreat into their box formation on the penalty kill. Burke down the near side, whips this one around, picked up at the far side now here by the Brit, Ben Davies. Got Ferguson calling for on the point. He lets a one-timer go. Well, it was going wide initially, and then it kicked off his skate and didn't get on the net eventually of Anthony Kimlin. Ferguson going to get go number 2 now, draws his man, gets it over to Davies. His shot blocked up high there by Strukov, going to one knee, and he gets the applause from the Bears bench. Tyrell Clare chases this one out, beat Sean Jones to it, and it's swatted out of the end by Brucker and picked up here by Ferguson. It's 23 seconds left on this man advantage now here for the Mustangs. Ferguson skates through centre ice, a wall of Bears in front of him. Hands off now here to McMahon, who does the other. He does likewise around the other side. As it's slapped around, Kalashnikovs picks at the puck, and as does Ryan Lowe, but he can't get wood to rubber. And Annesley manages to force Ferguson. Well, lined up there was Ferguson by Strukov, and a good hit to start the Bears campaign this afternoon. Setting the tone, 12:30 to go. That's the end of the power play. 0 for 1 are the Mustangs on the man advantage from this evening. 0 for 6 on the weekend so far. Here's Vyasov. Wasn't playing Friday night. He's in tonight. Goes to the outside. Tries to get around Strukov. And, well, he coughed the puck up there as Annesley. But Annesley did likewise now here to Ben Davies. Davies tried to dish off there to Robertson at the point. Not enough real estate for him to work with. As Vyasov gets it out to the half wall himself, and well, Lowe got the shoulder there from Apps, and well, the Bears a little bit of indecision, and they finally get it out to center as Vasquez digging at the puck, and picked up now here by Lowe. Bears are onside. Lowe goes in, centers one and a shot, and Pitkanen managed to get the shoulder on it, and Lazzarotto has it on the far side now here for the Mustangs. Burst of speed around Brian Foons, deals it in front, and couldn't get to that in the end, and it's picked up now by Vasquez. Vasquez, oh, he is hung up on the turnbuckle, right into the stanchion, excuse me, and that was a big hit. And he looks to be okay. A little shaken up on the play there is Vasquez, and well, that's
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you like the
a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, that's
jump on the Mustangs.
that's a really bad spot in the rink, and it's interesting. On an NHL game, I saw a guy get taken out really badly there.
It was the Max Pacioretty zone. Yeah, whoa.
But at least Troy came up. I don't know if you noticed. He came up and tapped him and said, you know, you okay, dude?
Now, we saw that 6 years ago, the Botany Swarm. It was John O'Hay got hung up there by Matt Armstrong, but it was on the center stanchion here between the benches. But good to see Vasquez is okay and back on the Sydney Bears bench. We'll keep an eye on him, if he decides to get some more treatment. But yeah, 11:10 to go, and it's nothing between the Mustangs and Bears.
Sarah Bricknell, since we've started at the right end of the rink, is it too early to break out the bleed orange, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, okay. We're not going to say those words, and Rod saw the hashtag and did likewise. Here's McMahon over to McCoy now. Over to Ferguson in his own zone as the Mustangs sent up their breakout. Break into the zone here of the Bears. That one was dished wide by McMahon. Davies is skating onto a loose puck with Annesley right on his hammer. Dug at there by Lowe. And picked up again by Ferguson, who's arguably the best player for the Mustangs in season 2018 so far. Here's Lowe now. Lowe down the outside, dishes off. Out to Burns, back to Lowe. Lowe shoots, great save by Petri Pitkanen. Glove down by Lowe, can't get a follow-up shot, and we got a hand pass called.
And I mean, watch the replay on this, though. The Bears were allowed to walk right in. He had all kinds of time to take that shot, and no one took him out. So Petri has to make a great save on this. Like, where's the back checker on that play?
Yep.
You can't afford that, mate. I mean, I was waiting for you to go, and there's one.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves right now. 10:30 to go. Lowe lost the face-off. Mustangs come away with the puck as Kalashnikovs pulls away with it. And he looks for options up ice. Burke's skating up in behind the lane. He goes to him now a little bit too much on that. Burke can't beat the icing call out, and he protests.
So just going back to that, like up until that point, I would say the Mustangs carried the play. They had most of control of the puck. Petrie didn't really have much to do, whereas Kimlin at the other end had been peppered a few times.
Yep.
But then all of a sudden you get a play like that, and wow, you just do not want that sort of thing to go on.
Yep. Yep. But I mean, if he'd hit Jamie on that play, he was off to the races. He had only Kimlin to beat. The high-risk play didn't pay dividends. Anyway, Terrell Clare's shot goes wide. And Bright's going to go back and get it now for the Mustangs. As the Mustangs on the attack now here through Burke. Gets over the line, tries to dangle his way through, maybe one move too many. And he turns the puck over in the process. Clare just chips that one off. Icing is going to be the call here, and a face-off at the other end.
So here's one for you. Petrie played in the game against Melbourne Ice, and he's starting tonight. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, I mean, Alexei played really well against the CBR Brave last week and in the previous Melbourne Derby too. So, I mean, Max tried to change it. Petrie was 18 for 22 against the ice in terms of saves on Friday night. I didn't think he had a particularly bad game.
No, he didn't, so don't get me wrong. That's not the point. But like, he actually made some great saves, okay? But you just sometimes got to change things up.
Yeah, exactly. Particularly Alexei's form last weekend, last couple of games he's played. This one dealt in front, and that trickles through the crease of Kimlin and wide. Slamp slings one out. It goes to Erzin. Robertson touches it over as Stringer was lined up by Clare, saw it coming. Vyasov just couldn't connect on that play, and Vasquez looks to have shaken off that earlier hit. He shakes down. Oh, well, almost deja vu there, this time from Andrew Erzin. Gonna have to dub that the Vasquez zone in a sec if that trend continues. Here's Burns now. He digs at the puck. Stringer on him. Vasquez muscled there by Robertson. Vasquez, 3 Mustangs players to contend with. The puck comes back to the point. Slung on net by Annesley. It's loose in front. The Bears can't get to it. The Mustangs can in the end. And danger cancelled out here for the Mustangs. Hit by Lowe in front of the bench. Vasquez muscled as well as Lazaretto and Vyasov in there for Melbourne. Here's Voons. Voons now moves it on, and as Burns moves his way to the net, Burns looking for an option in front, and it goes through the legs of just about everyone. The Bears still have possession of the puck. Slung across to Annesley. Nice pass and nice take on the stick. His shot is blocked before it got through to Pitkin, and it's finally dealt with here by Ben Davies. He goes down the far side to Ferguson. Ferguson now cuts across the slot, hands off to Davies, looking for an option in the slot. Annesley cancelled out Ferguson's stick, and Jones is going to have to retrieve it here in the corner. Gets plastered there by Etienne Dutois, and no call here from the referee as Erzin is wrestled to the ice by Foons, and we have a little bit of a discussion as Ferguson and Foons look like they're both going to have a spell here in the penalty box.
What started that one, dude?
Oh, well, I think it was the hit. Dutois threw the hit there on Jones. Maybe it was maybe a response to that. Maybe it was just frustration as Brett Ferguson's going to go as well. But look, there's the hit. Well, that was pretty much in the numbers. At least boarding, I would have called. But that's just my 2 cents. Now, here's the wrestling match there. Well, look, that would have been holding there on Foons anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
But Ferguson's had a go at him backwards. And
I don't know, is he going? He's not going.
Okay, maybe it's not. Okay. I was going to say...
They've got both of them up there. So what's going on? Maybe because he's cut. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's going for some treatment.
Yeah, so someone else will sit it.
So coincidentals, the call on the scoreboard anyway. I was going to say, Brian Foons, he's been working pretty much on those locks pretty well the last couple of seasons. As let's have a look at the replay. There we go.
Yeah.
Definite
bit of an elbow there. Yeah. Drags him down.
So Kahu Joyce looks like he's going to serve the minor here for Ferguson as he goes off for some treatment.
What do you reckon Ferguson did, though?
Well, he did. I mean, he grabbed Brian in a headlock as he went down, so probably the retaliation there was what spurred the penalty. But we've got 4-on-4 hockey now here for the next 2 minutes. 8 minutes remaining in the first period.
2 minutes for roughing it.
As Strukov digs at the puck, McCoy Slings it across, looking there for Burke. Davies is going to have to retreat. That's if he can handle Adien Dutoit. There's Davies across now here to Burke. And a good stick there from Clare, cancelled the play out, and Ryan Lowe skates away with a puck now here for Sydney despite some close attention. The Bears did well to stay on side in that exchange as Lowe, well, his pass is deflected. The idea was there, the execution wasn't. And the Mustangs, well, they coughed the puck up as Clare trailing in. Well, this opens them up to a 3-on-1 with Strukov, the only man back down here for the Bears. Here's Davies. Davies across to Burke. Oh, what a save from Kimlin!
Whoa.
Anthony Kimlin with a save of the game so far, and we're only 8 minutes in, and he keeps it 0-0. And I think Terrell Clare owes Anthony Kimlin a drink or two.
Good little pass by Davies, man, and Jamie had that, right? What a great little sliding save. It's interesting, you know, people don't understand 4-on-4, so Max had the right people out there. He had two of his fastest players, and really in the scheme of things, you want to be offensive-minded on a 4-on-4 and make something happen, because really, it's even strength. It just opens the ice up. So you get two guys out there that can motor like he had, and, well, that should have been a goal. That was a great save by Kimlin.
Indeed. And Brett Ferguson has now gone to the penalty box as Kahu Joyce has gone to the bench. Ferguson getting some patchwork. Here's McDowell now. McDowell, we're still 4-on-4. His shot is into the glass and over the shoulder there of Anthony Kimlin. Picked up here by Ryan Annesley. And hands off now down the near side of Spencer Austin, making his return to the Sydney Bears this year as Burns shoots. A save made there by Pitkin, and as the net comes off, the Bears dislodge it. That means the face-off's going to go to the neutral zone. But yeah, Spencer Austin didn't play last year either, and just beat the June 30 deadline. Now you've got to play June 30 at the latest to qualify for the Goodall Cup finals. Some hired help in case the Bears make it, I would assume, is the thinking there from Ron Kaprowski.
Anders is back. AHL game day looks like both Melbourne teams are going to miss the playoffs. Time for both teams to regroup now. Well, it's not over just yet, Anders, but like my mathematical friend says, chances are getting slim.
Well, as the great Billy Birmingham said, not an impossible task, but pretty something else to it. Pretty close to it. As this one moved through centre, Davies.
Have to work on that.
Yeah, you know, you've Wild World of Sports, the first one, you know what I'm talking about. As Erzin now shoots and fanned on, and Kimlin ends up with the biscuit.
So, getting back to reality, dude.
Yep.
Now that we've had a little bit of a rejig again.
Yep.
Any change in your thoughts on who might take this little cup home?
Well, the Brave, as I said, it's looking like theirs to lose. The Sydney Ice Dogs, I think, are the form team at the moment. They look the most consistent in terms of challenging that. They look like a very well-oiled machine. So the North Stars, I mean, they look good, but they just look really inconsistent. Like they win one night, they lose the next. And I think that's why Gary Dore went for some reinforcements there in Sammy Banga. But their locals are playing really well too. It's actually interesting that their locals are outperforming the imports to some degree. This one around the outside, McDowell block it away there by Kimlin. Clare picked up now here by Burke. As we're back to 5-on-5 hockey as Foons and Ferguson step back on the ice. The referee goes down behind the nets, and that puck shot out to centre. And McCoy now swings away with the puck. Picked up there, well, almost initially there by Brucker. He chips it wide. And off the kick plate, it goes to Ferguson, shoots it up ice, but gives it straight back to Annesley with 5 and change remaining here in period number 1 as Brucker rides the hit there from McCoy right in front of the Mustangs bench. Played up ice now here by Ferguson. Down the near side is Davies over the centre line and the blue line to the outside. Davies centering pass, cut off by the skate of Annesley. A follow-up chance is cancelled out by Kimlin. What a great play there from Ferguson and Davies to initiate and follow up on that encounter. Very nearly 1-0. Kimlin's been the difference so far in this game as Low. Well, that's going to be interference as Ferguson never touched the puck. Yeah, that was a silly penalty from Ryan Lowe. Brett Ferguson never touched the puck, and the penalty was there. 4:59 to go.
Watch this, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, not this one, but Yeah.
So let's have a look. Ferguson there. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, silly play, but let's have a look at the save in the next. We'll have a look at that save again right now. But that was just at the tail end there.
But another great setup, and he makes a fantastic save. So that's a left to right save, and the other one was a right to left save. The other one was a left to right save.
So Len needs an up down, and we've got a Mortal Kombat save, low kick. Here's Ferguson now with a shot through traffic, and well, there you go. The low kick save there from Anthony Kimlin. Here's Burke, backhands this one. Oh, well read there by the Bears, and off to the races they go through Brucker. But Ferguson's shoulder proving enough to throw him off the puck. Schlamp all by himself goes all the way back to Foons, and they go from end to end the other way. There's a slung out there by Annesley, well cut off by Burke. The Mustangs are 4-on-2 onside here. Davies, Burke across, and I think Brian Foons sliding 6'3" frame got enough of that, and it's shot the rest of the way there by Annesley. 1:15 left on the penalty to Ryan Lowe for interference. The Mustangs with the puck. 0 for 1 tonight on the power play already. Here's Ferguson now. He shoots, and that's swatted away with a glove by Anthony Kimlin, and swatted out eventually there by Burns. Davies going to have to back and get it here for the Mustangs. Davies now with a full head of steam. Change of personnel on the power play here for the Mustangs, bar Davies. That one's past the reach there of Strukov. Jones has it at the half wall. It's flipped out of the zone, and precious power play seconds will erode from the clock here of the Mustangs. Burke, 36 of them remaining. Number 23 on the puck now to 51, Sean Jones. Apps coming into the back door looking for the pass. Lazaretto now to Kalashnikov's. Kalashnikov shoots. Oh, it was tipped on the way through. Nice tip from Apps. And to the right there of Anthony Kimlin. Lazaretto is blocked by Strukov. The Bears doing a pretty good job short-handed so far with the Mustangs. Just the shots not really threatening Anthony Kimlin, bar 1 or 2. Here's Kalashnikov's to Stringer. Stringer at the top of the circle. Penalty has expired now, and we are back to 5-on-5. He is Low, steps back onto the white paint on top of the frozen H2O. Is Annesley now. He was, oh, well, he was tripped, didn't get a penalty for his trouble. This one shot through traffic, and this one shot out. Schlamp just touches this one for Lowe to skate onto. Lowe beat to it here by Kalashnikov's. He swings it around, picked up by Stringer. Stringer, Burns will put him to the ice, and well picked up now here by Lowe, just onside. Lowe thought about the pass to Dutoit, and he decided to shoot it himself and pick it in the easy save.
Yep, that's right. And you know, the interesting thing here is, like, Mustangs were on the power play and they never really got it together, but the Bears are very lucky because they let people like Davies and Ferguson freewheel, and they just can't do that. I mean, they're going to be lucky to come out of this period 0-0.
Yeah.
They must shut down those two guys on the Mustangs offense.
It's interesting to see the shot count at the end of this period as Clare fires one blocked up high. Burns skates onto the puck, tried to thread it through there to Lowe. He just couldn't connect with him. Strukov calling for it at the point. Burns has got it behind the net. Pushed there by Robertson. Felled it in front. Vasquez. And, well, that was appealed for a penalty. We got one coming.
Well, gloved ahead, I think.
Yeah, that was something that Aaron Rodgers would have been proud of. At least 30 yards on that pass. Let's have a look. Here's Burns. Gloved up Burke. Oh, I closed his hand on it and just chucked it. Yeah, that's got to be at least a penalty. Closed his hand on the puck, but anyway.
They didn't call it.
Yeah. So the Mustangs get away with one. 2:10 to go. As McDowell comes in to take the face-off. Slung on by Clare. And Strukov gets checked there by Apps. Picked up now here by Strukov. Rode the check well. Tried to center, but no threat to the net of Petri Pitkin and Clare. Turnaround shot there from Burns, gobbled up by Pitkin. As the momentum a little bit in favor of the Bears at the moment.
That's right. It shifted a little bit. And so the Mustangs want to get their head back on here. They got 1:55 left. They do not want to be down a goal going into the period break. And the Bears want to press these guys. Johnny Foreigner, Mustangs looking for the pretty goal again. Need to get more pucks on net. Well, Johnny, let's say this. If you're in the zone, shoot the puck. Don't carry it through or try to make a fancy move.
As Davies now picks it up in his own zone. Now hands off to Ferguson down the near side. Ferguson with 3 Bears players in between him and the net. And well done there by Jack McCoy to keep that play alive as the Bears were looking to poach, and they would have been in 3-on-1. Foons and Jones. Puck goes past both of them. Annesley now pins his man to the boards. Foons does likewise with Jones. Davies tries to center as Ferguson lurking at the back post. And Kimlin has to come out, and Brian Foons has a little bit here to say to Sean Jones. And we got Australian teammates colliding there. Haven't played together for a couple of years, but both of them...
what do you reckon? About the hair? Could be the hair.
Probably. Well, both of them going. This is going to be interesting. Fellas, you better separate them before they go to the penalty box. So they're going to have words.
So who instigated that one, dude?
Well, I didn't see there was a bit of push and shove. Let's have a look at the replay behind the net. So there you can see they're jostling, and that's it. Jones
gives a little bit of a shove.
Jones gives the cross check. Phone says, I'll give you a push back. Then the glove, face wash, and then face washes all around. And I've got better hair than you do. Yeah. And you know, what product do you use? Yep. Head and Shoulders, and the rest of it.
I would think it would be an oatmeal-based product that's, you know, tender on the hair.
It is Melbourne, I'm sure. No parabens, I'm sure. Here's Annesley. Slings this one around, 4-on-4. Out now here to Strukov. Brooker moves in over the line. Bears are on side, but they've coughed up the puck. Davies back to Ferguson. Nice interplay between them at centre ice. Ferguson now to Davies. Strukov gives Ferguson the cold shoulder. Moved in front, and Kimlin read that one all the way, even though it didn't end up on his net. As Annesley checks Davies into the glass, Ferguson tries to dangle through. Moved up. Nice play there by Schlamm to get it through to Brucker with Strukov lurking on the blue line. Brucker now to the outside. Tried to centre, always cocked the puck up. And a 2-on-2 break late here for the Mustangs. So it's going to be 1-on-2 as Davies' teammate Ferguson retreated to the bench on a line change. Strukov muscles Davies into the glass. Schlamm back now here to Strukov. And now back to Schlamm. He's got a bit of real estate to work with now here at centre ice, with McDowell closing in on him. Schlamm just can't get the puck onside. That's going to be offside. Low touches it. We'll get a face-off.
That we will. And that we will. Up, Sheepy, a new one. Spencer Austin is back for the Sydney Bears, whereas the logic in that decision, we don't spend enough time with the man in the box. Recall Spence.
Well, tell us what you really think there, but no, Spencer Austin, no stranger to the
stable,
the penalty
classic
box.
Funness.
Foodness. Oh, what a hit! Dutoit just got deposited into the bench there by Troy Robertson. Wow, big hit there from Troy, and all the way now here to McDowell. Across to Burke, dropped off. Claire's going to take it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, maybe time for one last shot now here for the Bears. Too late as the buzzer beats both of them, and a little bit of action to end period number 1 as Burke has a few things to say now here to the referee. And an entertaining first period here at the O'Brien Group Arena, Rod.
Well, I actually think that was a better period than we saw 3 periods on Friday night. And certainly if you're the Mustangs coaches, here we go. Boom. Brings back fond memories of a game I played in where I ended up sitting in the players' bench, and it was the wrong players' bench.
And probably the wrong players' tunnel as well.
But anyhow, getting back to what I was saying, if you're the coaching staff for the Mustangs, you'd be happy about that because they carried most of the play. They had multiple opportunities. They just need to collect, okay? Pitkin never really got taxed, and when he did, he stood up on it. Kimlin is the guy these guys got to beat, mate.
Yep.
So if you're the Bears, you got to give your goaltender more defense and get their offense working. And if you're the Mustangs, you got to score.
Yep. And, well, entertaining period of hockey here on Canada Day. It's 0-0 between the Bears and the Mustangs. We'll be back with the second period of play right after this. on the penalty there to Lowe, so we'll still be at 5-on-4 in favour of the Mustangs. As Kalashnikovs has the puck now here over to Lazzarotto. Lazzarotto, near side, here to Apps. He just chips this off the kick plate as the penalty to Lowe is about to expire. And we'll be back to to Fedor, excuse me. We'll be back to 5-on-5 hockey as that trickles through and no Mustang stick. Again, huge hit by Apps. He absolutely stapled Burns to the glass. And there's been some big checks in this game so far. Claire and now Annesley. He shoots and a good save made there by Pitkin. Jones now backhands this one up ice to Davies, streaking in behind the Bears defense. And they're looking for the trailer in Kalashnikov as Davies got wiped out in the opposite corner. Well, each team going step for step in the physicality stakes, and it comes back the other way. A shot. Pitkin got the shoulder on it. And we are end-to-end. Here's Davies in on a breakaway. Davies v. Kimlin. He shoots. Kimlin wins that battle. What a save.
What did he get his stick on that or something?
Yeah, the paddle of the stick coming to the rescue. That one slung in front. We got a penalty against the Bears again. Hook the call against Vasquez.
He's not happy.
Wow, that was one of the best periods of this period. That last 30 seconds, end-to-end stuff.
Yep, it's great.
Let's have a look. That was a big hit there from Apps on Burns, and then Davies got cancelled out in the other corner, and then Apps gone for a hook. So 11 minutes to go here in period number 2. It's 0-0. Another Mustangs power play. 0 for 3 so far this evening. 0 for 9 on the weekend. Score update from up in Newcastle. 3-2 to the Newcastle North Stars after 1. Here's a shot from Burke, and that was deflected and wide. The other game, the Brave and Adrenaline, will now start at 7 Central Standard Time. This one slant across, and the one-timer just didn't pull off there for the Mustangs.
He had the whole net too.
Yeah. 100 seconds remaining on the penalty now to Vasquez, who's got quite a substantial welt on that left eye where he went head first into the stanchion in front of the Mustangs bench. Here's Davies. Davies tried to chip that one across as McDowell was setting up shop just in front of the blue painting of Anthony Kimlin. The crowd getting into this one now. This one chopped across now here to Burke. Thought about the shot. Goes down now here to McDowell. And they are looking for a lane. McDowell. Over the goal line. McDowell now looking for something on offer. Stringer's in front of the net. Back now here to Ferguson manning the blue line, and across now here to Burke. Burke gets muscled in the corner there by Strukov. And Dutois will try to clear the zone. Ferguson held it. Slings it across now here to Davies, and we just couldn't get a shot off in time. With time expiring, 40 seconds of it remaining here, and that shot into the netting deflected and out of play.
Well, I'm going to state the obvious, mate. It's the second period. It's 0-0, and they've been given multiple opportunities to score. They have to score on this. Mustangs working hard on killing power plays today. Well, they are, or are they? I mean, at the end of the day, they're controlling the puck, but they're not taxing Kimlin, and that's what they have to do.
As Lowe back now here to Apps, and Kalashnikovs just couldn't hold the blue line, and he's going to have to go back to his own blue line and reset this Mustangs power play and get a good zone entry with Apps and Kalashnikovs, who gets the puck back now here with Lazzarotto going to the net. And Kalashnikov shot it himself, and it was saved there by Kimlin. And behind the net it goes. Over to Sean Jones now, top of the right-hand circle. Goes down low to Apps, couldn't control the puck. Kalashnikovs did well to control it on the blue line and just stays onside. Now here to Jones. 5 seconds left before Vasquez re-enters the fray. And set it in front, and it trickles out to the center ice face-off circle where McMahon will skate onto it and hand it back now here to the reverse of his number 52, Kalashnikovs. He rifles one up towards center ice to Burke. Burke now down the far side. 3-on-3 break. Burke deals around traffic. Still got it as Burke. Burke cutting in, shoots, he scores! What a goal from Jamie Burke, and it is 1-0.
That was a good low shot, right? And in actual fact, he had another opportunity to make that shot before he made the last move, but it was a good low shot, and it beats Kimlin, right? There you go. That's what you want. Let's hope that opens the door up. Here, watch this. Yep, through. He couldn't see that because 97 cut right across, and that's what you want to do. Use the opposition as a screen and make the goaltender work for it.
Jamie Burke's second goal of the season is the Mustangs' first this evening. And it is 1-0 to the men in orange, black and white here on Canada Day. The men in red, white and black looking for a response. Picked up now here by Ferguson. Now here to Robertson. And offside are the Mustangs. And that's probably the longest offside whistle I've ever heard. And Davies and Strukov, I think that was a little disrespect in terms, well, perceived disrespect from Strukov to Davies as why didn't you stop when the whistle went? Let's have a look again. Well, you don't see the offside in that frame, but now
they had a few words.
Yeah. Well, plenty of feeling in this game. There's been some big hits, big clean hits, and obviously, you know, the Bears frustrated after last night. If they had got the 3 points, you know, they'd be still well amongst it and keeping in pace with the North Stars. Here's Robertson. Robertson shrugs off Schlamp and picked up now here by Ferguson. Strukov will pick it up, and, well, Davies stripped him of it, and that battle continues, but Strukov comes up with a puck eventually as Burke and Brucker have a little bit to say to each other at centre ice. Strukov in front, a shot, and what a save by Pickett. It's loose. Schlamp tries to pick it up in the corner. It comes all the way back out now here to Davies. It's got Schlamp and Brucker to deal with. Gets sandwiched there as Erzin picks up a loose puck, and play continues. I think the feeling's gone up a little bit now in this period between the two teams. Erzin, Davies, and Ferguson. To Ferguson now. And, well, Fand on the initial shot. Still has the puck, though. Tries to take it in front. Loose in front. It's good.
What a save! Holy cow!
Anthony Kimlin is absolutely on fire at the moment. The puck is sent in front, and, well, that went off the side of the net in the end. And, wow, Anthony Kimlin just absolutely robbed Ferguson at the side of the net. Here's Pickett, the other goaltender, shooting this one out to the Bears. A break back in just onside. Burns to the outside. Burns cut through, shoots, and just couldn't pull the trigger in the end. It slid off the end of his stick as he was going to shoot. And very nearly a response from the Bears. They've still got the puck, though. Low, he fires, and, well, he went down. High stick is the call.
Yeah.
And Kahu Joyce is going to get the gate. And we'll see if there's any blood drawn. It might be 4. Or is it Stringer that was the offender on that occasion? Thought it was Joyce. Thought it was Joyce on the puck initially. Let's have a look. But this is the save across. That was Ben Davies he robbed.
And he's going, pick that guy up.
Well, I didn't. Yeah,
It was Stringer.
Okay, I didn't see whether the stick connected there. You might get another look at that later, but Lowe was claiming he got one up in the chops. Doesn't look like there's any blood drawn, so it's just going to be the straight 2. And the Bears will find. Let's have another look. Here we go. Here's the stick.
Right there.
Yeah, it comes right up there, yeah.
Interesting, though, because you could actually say he contributed that himself, because you take the shot and he rose the stick up, you know?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Stringer of all people is not a dirty player.
Exactly. But anyway, it's history nonetheless. The Bears have a power play and a chance to respond here. Schlamp has the puck behind the net. Goes back to the point now to Annesley with Strukov manning the other points. There's Annesley directing traffic now. Here's Strukov across to Schlamp. Just manages to keep control of the puck. There's Dutoit, Dutoit trying to, maybe got a little too cute, but Schlamp comes to his rescue and gets the puck back to Annesley. Just onside now to Strukov. Back to Schlamp. Nice hard pass across. Annesley fires one, well, didn't get all of it, but the Bears managed to keep the change. Here's Schlamp now to Annesley to Strukov. He turns and shoots, and it's great goaltending there from Pitkin to see it all the way, and it remains 1-0.
But it was good penalty killing, too. They kept him to the outside and really didn't give him anything, eh? And so, like, that was a shot, but it was a shot high, and Petrie had it all the way, okay? And that's what you want, too. So
the Bears a little late on the change there.
be. They're playing some good Canadian music.
Well, let's hope the Nickelback hasn't made an appearance yet.
I'm sure they will.
Oh,
I'm sure they will.
God. Well, apparently I'm told it has, so that's how much I was paying attention. It's how long I've managed to tune it out. Anyway, here's Strukov. Oh, great. I'm being told there's going to be more now. Great. I'll have to think of a song of theirs that... anyway. 2:52. That was actually 4 minutes in the end. Because apparently blood was drawn. So it's a 4-minute power play here to the Sydney Bears. There was 2 minutes initially put up on the clock. Now here's Brucker looking for an outlet. Finds one in Strukov. Brucker now pulling across. Here's Strukov. He shoots. Oh, I had plenty on it, but just didn't have the accuracy. Picked up now here by Vasquez. And now here to Strukov as Brucker camps in front, providing the screen. Oh, a headhunting shot. That ended up in the chest of Brucker. And picked up now here by the Bears as they look to at least get something on the board here in this second period. Annesley with Tommy Stephen changing places. Annesley just goes down low instead. Sent in front at the back door was Vasquez and he just couldn't finish it. And Stephen's going to have to go back and get it now here for Sydney. Elects to give it now here to Annesley. 1:53 left on the power play here for high sticking against Matt Stringer. Annesley slips it through, finds his teammate there in low, but he is stripped of it there by Ferguson, who backhands the puck out. And Clare manages to pick the puck up, gives it to Schlamp. Schlamp now forced into retreat, but the Bears will swing around again and set up the zone entry. They do so now here through low. Top of the circle. The trailer is Schlamp. He fanned on the shot.
Man, he'd love to have that back again.
Ferguson, a 2-on-1 shorthanded the other way. Ferguson with McMahon. Ferguson moves in, shoots. And the skate there of Terrell Clare very nearly, well, cancelled out a very near opportunity there for the Mustangs to go 2-0 up. Not what the Bears wanted at all, particularly this juncture in the game. Now here's Burke. He retreats all the way back to his own goal line just to eat up valuable those power play seconds. Well, it looks like Pitkin got clipped there by Burns, and we're going to have a penalty going towards the Bears now. Ferguson shot, and that's touched by Kimlin, and play is whistled dead. And interference is the call. I'm interested to see how much...
What do you do, drag a skate or something?
Well, interested to see how much contact was made there with Pitkin, because Burns is pleading there wasn't much. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, there's plenty there. Yeah. Easily could have avoided him. So, again, the Bears' discipline is...
Well, they're hanging on by a thread here, in all honesty. I mean, it could easily be 3 or 4-1 or 4-0.
Indeed.
So they're very fortunate that it's 1-0, and they can't afford to keep going in the box like that, okay? Because eventually something's going to happen here, and the tide's going to change in a big way, and they're going to get smoked.
3:39 to go. So Stringer will come out in 40 seconds. We're 4-on-4 for the time being. What a shot there from low, and a great save from Pitkin as Funes and Apps tangle. And Apps, look, since coming into the Mustangs this year, he's been quite the physical presence, actually. I like the style of his play.
Sparkle Pants Clark, AIHL game, not playing enough Nickelback, am I? Next one's for you guys.
Oh, you can hear it.
Thank you, mate.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, there we go. Thanks. Oh, no.
Let's play a little Guess Who now.
Well, we can see fans making their way to the exit right now, and I'm not going to be held accountable for that. Anyway, Schlamp digs at the puck, puts it back now here to Kalashnikovs. He chips at it. Jones tries to feather touch this one out to the neutral zone. Oh, we got a possible 2-on-1 now here if they can hurry. Here's Apps looking for Kalashnikov as the trailer. Apps blew a tire, feathers it through. That was almost a hand pass, but touched there by Strukov, so no call. Here's Burke now. Dishes to Kalashnikov. What a rocket there, and that was just wide as the big man wound up in the stratosphere. And
so what millimeter was that, dude?
As Davies across. So I'll wait for the opportune time to use that one. He is low now. He's breaking in the other way for the Bears. Low with a shot. Shoulder save there by Pitkin. And the puck goes all the way back as Davies is going to beat everyone else to it. Davies cuts in towards the slot. Davies shoots, and Kimlin just got enough on it. And urging his defenseman to pick him up as the Bears being outskated and outplayed at the moment. Davies across, looking for the backdoor connection there with Jones, and he just couldn't settle down the hard pass. Stringer down to Kalashnikovs. Over to Davies. Davies now. And while that's a bit of miscommunication, play still alive though. 30 seconds left here on the power play on the penalty to Burns. Burke now patrolling, shooting, and Kimlin makes the save.
So you were saying millimeter, what millimeter was that?
That would be the 7.62 from Kalashnikovs.
I have to say that my initial thoughts on Mr. Kalashnikov was a bit of left of center, but I've been watching him the last couple of games, and he's made a couple of very interesting plays, and I think he's playing a pretty good game today.
I'd have to agree with that. I think, you know, initially he started on that third pairing. He's now worked his way up to the top there with Michael McMahon. So, big body presence, as I said, you know, haven't had a player on the blue line that big since Jack Walgamuth from 2 seasons ago. So this one swatted at and across, looking out here to Ferguson. Ferguson now. Jostin in front, there's plenty of traffic, and Ferguson just couldn't get the puck through. Moon had it to Davies, and he fanned on the one-timer, and Annesley takes care of the rest. Back to 5-on-5 hockey as Burns steps back on the ice. It's dealt down low and back now to the point of Burke. Fake the shot, and now he was stripped, and we got a possible 2-on-1 the other way with Burns and Lowe. Lowe cuts towards the net. Shot, what a save from Pickett, and he gets run into as Burke and Burns have a little bit to say to each other, and Brucker as well. And, well, look, I thought that was pretty, there wasn't anything in that. Berkey went shoulder to shoulder, lost that one.
Yeah.
And away he goes. Yeah, I think that's probably the right call. He came in as the instigator of that.
Yeah, I don't believe that was intentional. He just lost, if you watch it, he just lost space.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jamie kind of helped him.
Yeah. Burns, I think, was trying to get out of the way of Pitkin in that time because he learned his lesson the first time, and then shoulder to shoulder, Berkey lost it. Let's have a look at it again. Here's the play. Low with the shot. Yeah, he was pushed in, basically. Yeah. No, well, let's have another look at, well, he sort of feinted towards him, and defensive jab came out there from Burns. Had pretty good reach on that on his right there. And, well, nonetheless, Burke's the way. Let's have another look at the replay. In he comes. Whoa.
Ooh.
Well, that's interesting. We might have, if we, let's
hope not, dude.
Yeah, let's have another look at that footage later. Anyway, as Burns has the puck now, and a 5-on-4 for the Bears, and well, his pass has too much on it. Strukov has to go back to the neutral zone, and well, that pass was a little too much above the knee level there, and the Bears are going to get it back all the way in their own zone. 1 minute remaining in period number 2, just 1-0 here at the O'Brien Group Arena. Mustangs have the lone goal.
Mr. Lowe's got pretty good hands, dude.
Yeah, he is. He's very good. Yeah. Quite the acquisition for the Bears this year. And he's got the puck now around Kalashnikovs, but Kalashnikovs had Strukov to deal with. He collides solidly there with McMahon. It comes alone here to Schlamp in the slot. He sings it across, a shot, and oh, Lowe just couldn't finesse that one over. As Strukov has it, 33 seconds left. Strukov in front to Burns, trying to hit Schlamp at the back door. Pitkin, and what a save! Lowe's claiming it went in. No signal's been made as Pitkin in. Oh. Well, that was close.
If you watch that other play, Schlamp was in the slot, and a lot of people would say take the shot, but he couldn't take the shot, and that's why he actually passed it off, right?
Here's the save. Oh. Petri Pitkin in the armpits. Just prevents that one from going over the goal line. And, well, theatrics at both ends. This really has been a goaltender's battle, even though Kimlin's arguably been the busier of the two. Here's Lowe now.
But you got to say, Petri's made a couple of really good saves too, hasn't
indeed,
he?
Absolutely. Burns, Lowe. Time expiring here in this second period. Annesley shoots a tip there from Schlamp. It's loose in front. A shot from It's just blocked there by Robertson. He's a bit ginger.
Felt that one.
Yeah, that went straight into the gap of the padding there on the right shin pad. I think it actually went into the instep where there is none if you're not wearing shot blockers on your skates. And that will do it. At the end of the second period, it remains 1-0. Rod, what a period that was.
Well, that was a great period, wasn't it? And at the end of the day, it inevitably had to happen where the Mustangs were going to score. So Jamie Burke gets a great goal. It's 1-0. And the only thing you got to say is that there's a man in the box at the end of the period. That's not what you want, but you do want to go in the dressing room 1-0. They got to be smart and come out and not play around.
As Jamie Burke and Graham Strukov had a few words going to the bench, and we'll see if Chapter 3 in period number 3 produces a conclusion either way. At the end of the second period, though, it's the Mustangs 1, the Bears 0. We'll be back with the third period right after this. And welcome back to the O'Brien Group Arena for period number 3 between the Mustangs and the Sydney Bears. And the Bears will be on the power play for all of 33 seconds remaining on the penalty to Jamie Burke at the end of that scuffle with Gilbert Burns. Sorry, not Gilbert Burns. I was going to say, I'm mixing up my sports here. As we have 19:43 to play here. Score update from up in Newcastle, 4-2 in favour of the Newcastle All-Stars after 2. As this one moved out now here to Davies. And that one was offside, and we'll get a whistle.
Only 6 miles offside. So, you want my thoughts on this?
Yeah, I did. I was just rudely interrupted by a game.
So here's my thoughts, man, and it's fairly obvious. Kill a penalty, and then keep skating, and don't give this 1-goal lead up. If you sit on it, you're going to wish you never did that. So they need to keep their heads screwed on and keep sticking it to the Bears.
So as the puck moves back. And now out from the zone here from the Mustangs through Burke, who is back on the ice, and we are back to 5-on-5. Apps pulls up here at the goal line, delts it in behind. Kalashnikov's races to the puck, but he's beaten to it by Schlamp. Oh, big hit there in front of the bench. And Mustang player is down, Brendan McDowell. Got a penalty coming up as Burke now shoots, and that's blocked there and touched finally by Strukov as Burke and Strukov continue their little chat. I didn't see who hit McDowell there, but then we have a look.
There we go, Anthony Russell. Of all the great Canadian bands, and Nickelback comes on. I'd rather listen to Joey Resnick singing the hits of Stompin' Tom Connors. Now, how many people know Stompin' Tom Connors? Well, there you go.
It's a good old hockey game, best game you can play.
Oh, very good.
Joe Resnick, yeah, I'll lay off on the Czech accent there. So, back to the hockey game. Michael Burns sitting in the penalty box there. And Ryan Annesley asking for an explanation of the penalty. Missed the replay as we were busy chastising Joey Resnick's singing abilities. I'm sure he'll tweet me in a second. But this is a penalty the Bears don't want to give away.
No.
Charging was the call, according to the referee. And again, the Mustangs to the power play. 0 for 4 already tonight.
It's got to happen, though, man. I mean, they've controlled the play. They just haven't taxed Kimlin.
Yep. Kimlin has been on form all evening, despite being on the opposite end of the scoreline. Here's Ferguson picking the puck back up in his own zone. Ferguson builds up a head of steam and gets around the check there of Dutois, but Brucker did well to pick up the loose puck in the end and buy himself some time. Throws a little knuckleball there on Pitkanen, but he had the paddle down between the 5-hole and denied him on that occasion. Davies now trying to get through traffic. Davies to the outside, harassed there by Dutois. Did well to get the puck back now here to Burke at the point. Ferguson calling for it. He slaps one on net, and it was about half a metre to the right of the right pad there of Anthony Kimlin. And the Mustangs take opportunity at the puck in their own zone to get a change of penalty kill unit on. Burke off to McDowell to the outside. Penalty coming up now against the Bears again. Strukov and slashing the call. Low the offender on that occasion. I didn't think he was on the puck. Let's have a look at this. So here it comes. Okay, a couple of chops there. 3 chops. Well, there
Maybe
you go.
the third one.
I stand corrected on that.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just trying to get his lumberjack on Canada Day. Yeah, Hoser. had to get that one on, didn't
Yeah,
I?
Hoser. I like that. Right.
Bit of prairie talk there. Is 17:56, 1-0. So a 5-on-3 here for at least a minute. Unless, of course, the Mustangs do break the duck in terms of the power play on the weekend, as they are now 0 for 9, including the game on Friday night. Picked up now here to Burke, trying to gain a lane with Ferguson. Fakes the shot, deals across now here to Davies. Davies trying to draw some plays. The one-timer and a good save by Kimlin, and he swats the remainder away into the corner. Ferguson gets it right back now here to Burke, moving in. He shoots and closing the door again as Kimlin. Double save from Anthony Kimlin. as Schlamp muscles Davies into the glass, and the puck slapped out there by Strukov, and they will change at least one of their penalty killers as the Mustangs retreat and set up their zone entry again. 20 seconds until Burns can step back on the ice. Jones now. Across to Ferguson, to Burke. Foons approaches him. Ferguson, download at McDowell, and what a save again from Kimlin. A little bit less in terms of effort, but closed the angle off and stopped the back post opportunity from presenting itself. And Burns rejoins the action, and we're now at 5-on-4 hockey as Ferguson skips around Burns and tries to get around Annesley. Holds onto the puck. Ferguson up to the high slot, still got the puck. Turnaround shot, and the left pad of Kimlin swatting the rubber aside. Back now here to Ferguson. Burke across and trying to hit Davies. Maybe a little too cute there on that move. As Burns, the lone hand up on the forecheck, short-handed now here for the Bears with Ferguson right on him. Burns manages Ferguson to lose his stick. There's the puck at the side of the net. Here's Burns looking to stuff it home, and it comes back the other way. A potential 3-on-2 now here for the Mustangs if they can get into position. Here's Davies with a shot, and a good save by Kimlin. It's loose in the slot, and Davies can't do anything with a loose puck there right in front of the blue paint of Anthony Kimlin. The goaltender's your best penalty killer, and Anthony Kimlin.
That was another great save, dude.
Certainly exemplifying that statement. Put in by Burke. Davies is offside, but he is fatigued and heading to the bench. So the Bears kill off another 2 penalties here. And the Mustangs move to 0 for 6 tonight. Here's Lowe now, over the blue line. Lowe, he shoots a save there by Pitkanen, who's been just as good at the other end, despite being less busy than Anthony Kimlin. Clare takes the puck in the skates to Schlamp. One touch over to hit a Lowe, just controls the puck, but Jones says, go and reset this one in the neutral zone, fellas, and Strukov does exactly that. Fires it into the opposite corner. Chased there by Brucker. Brucker now. Muscled there by Kalashnikovs. Well, it's Lowe is muscled to the ice. Legal check in the eyes of the referee. Lowe has the puck. Lowe now with Clare on the point. Decides to put it off now here to Brucker. Sent it in front, and Vasquez just tumbles to the ice at the crucial moment. The Bears still have control. Slung on by Clare. Oh, trickles through, and Pitkanen didn't see it until the last minute. A shot there from a tight angle from Lowe, and not much trouble there to Petri Pitkanen. As McDowell calling for the puck in behind play. Not enough on the pass, as Annesley had him covered anyway. And we're still at 1-0 here with 5 minutes gone in this final period. Stephen now to Funes. Bit of miscommunication. Funes gets the puck in.
They were lucky there, man.
Yeah, exactly. As the puck in behind the net now. Fanning on that was Kalashnikovs, but enough time to get a reprieve. Robertson, he looks to have shaken off that earlier shot he got in the instep just before the end of the period there. Vasquez now. Erzin had him lined up. Vasquez, who'd been already the recipient of 2 pretty good checks in this game, said, I'm not going to make it a 3rd time, at least not this time. Here's Vasquez now. That comes out now here to Joyce. Hasn't had much ice time tonight. Put now here to Ferguson. Send it in front, and Kimlin just calmly gloves that.
Well. 13 minutes and 53 seconds left, and Sparkle Pants Clark, AHL Game Day. You need to watch some Letterkenny and learn some better slang, my guys. You're pretty good there, Sparkle Pants. Michael Clough, AHL Bears need to deliver a 3rd like yesterday and hope Pitkanen doesn't stand on his head like Downey did yesterday. Well, both goaltenders are playing well.
Well, here's McDowell, shot, and just as you said that, Brendan McDowell makes it 2-0. His 2nd goal on the weekend. And the Mustangs now with a 2-goal lead.
Well, if I was Mr. Kimlin, I know what I'd be saying, because watch where Mr. McDowell was. He was in the slot, and there was no one on him, and he had all the time in the world, and bang. A great shot. Kimlin couldn't do much on that one.
Top corner, Anthony Kimlin, yes, as you said, little he could do about that, and rightfully upset with his D on the Bears. They are now 2-0 in the hole. That was Brendan McDowell's 7th goal of the year. He is 3rd in points on 16, averaging .9 per game. And the Bears looking for an instant response. It's loose. Strukov just had a in between his skates, gets pushed out of the zone for his trouble. The puck does likewise now here and onto Apps' stick. Apps now to the outside, looking for players on offer in the middle. Apps in behind. It's fed in front, and Burke had too much of Anthony Kimlin in his way to get an effective shot off. As this one set all the way back now here to Nikita Kalashnikov's with the puck. Burke to Jones and Davies. Davies now, top of the circle. Shot is steered aside rather calmly there by Anthony Kimlin. Dutoit fires up now, hit a low. Got 90% of the Mustangs team in front of him. And he gets put right into the washing machine there.
That was a good hit.
Nikita Kalashnikov's and Ferguson sandwiching him. Kalashnikov's has the puck too quick into the zone where his teammates, and we'll get a whistle.
I don't think Mr. Lowe thought that was a good hit, but there's two guys and they took him out at the same time. Watch this. He tries to cut through. Boom. See you later, dude.
Ran right out of real estate. And Bears third line out now. And well, you got to get it from somewhere because the top line hasn't really been doing it for them in this game. As Burns, Brucker and Fedor on the ice now. Funes with the puck with Ryan Annesley. Fedor just roofs this one into the zone. A little chip and chase, but it bounces all the way through to Pitkinen, and he gloves.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, something like that is very hard to handle. So if you throw it at the goaltender and it's bouncing and you have someone drive the net, you'd be surprised at what could happen. And I think sometimes people are too hard on the goaltenders. For all the Mustangs hockey huffing and puffing on the power play, I lost a little last little.
Both the goals at even strength on turnovers. So Annesley and Davies tangle, but Ferguson's got the puck. Nice glove save there from Kimlin. Manages to steer it above the crossbar. Funes has the puck. Tried to chip it out. Does so finally. Here's Burns with the puck. Slips it through here to Brucker. Nice pass. Brucker across. Fedor with a beckoning net. And he couldn't put it by Petri Pitkinen. And couldn't get a shot on target as it went wide. Davies across to Jones. Delays. Wait for Kalashnikov to get to the point. And well, his pass intended for said player eventually got through to him, but by way of deflection and into his own zone. Here's Davies down to Ferguson. Trying to thought about the wraparound. Intelligent play there from Strukov to negate that. As Burns goes to work, Lowe has the puck. Lowe's been one of the most energetic players for the Bears tonight. Just hasn't been able to capitalize where it matters, that being on the scoreboard.
You certainly don't want to leave him freewheeling.
11:30 to go. And a 2-goal lead to the Mustangs. As we talked about at the start of this game, it's 3 points they desperately need as their season on life support at the moment. Here's Burke. Dan's off now. Here's a shot, and McDowell looking for goal number 2. Couldn't get to it. Burke, and that was just out of the zone. And Kalashnikovs will take the puck back here for the Mustangs. Chip back out in front of the penalty box. So two Mustangs players, Stringer and Burke. Now Burke draws Funes to the ice. Thought about the shot, and he gets stood up finally there by Clare, cutting across the high slot. McDowell across to Burke. He shoots, blocked by Funes. Bears in desperate defense mode here in this last 20 seconds or so. Robertson couldn't get to it. Funes and Stringer. And all the way back now here to Burke. Just touches this one on here for Stringer to skate onto. Funes does some good body work on him. Schlamp does likewise. As Stringer gets smashed there by Tyrell Clare, and Schlamp has the puck and just chips this one out, allowing his compatriots to touch up low. So the lone hand there for the Bears as the puck comes back now here to Annesley. Off now here to Tommy Stephen. Stephen fires one on net, and that's tipped and up into the netting, and we'll get a face-off.
So what's the inside scoop on Lowe?
Joined the team about 4 weeks into the season, maybe a bit longer than that. And yes, Kane Fedor just couldn't even end up getting the heel of the stick onto it. And he's been quite the revelation. He scored 2 goals in his first game, and it was against the Ice Dogs. And he's been such a great addition to the Bears in that rejuvenated Bears, but they're not showing it here this weekend, what we've been used to, as Adams not in the lineup as well tonight for the Sydney Bears. And we're out without a couple, obviously Esposito and Wardlaw are also not suited up. as it's moved back and across to Stephen. And well, that's relinquished now over to Vasquez. Across. As Burns blew a tyre. And he'll have to retreat now here for Strukov. Across to Stephen as Annesley retreats to the bench. Stephen all by himself with Vasquez. Strukov arriving late. He's the target, but the pass was behind him. Gets bumped there by McCoy. Strukov throws a blind one in front, but he ends up with Claire, and he's going to keep the play onside. He throws it towards net, looking for a tip, but he had Vasquez there lined up, and a 2-on-1 back the other way here for the Mustangs. Here's McDowell. He shoots, and Kimlin wins that duel this time, and we'll have a whistle.
So where did Lowe come from?
It's
William Young Price AHL game. The Teddy Bear toss was yesterday, but this weekend the Sydney Bears are tossing away a top shot at 4 spot. They are actually, mate. They've been very, very lucky that it's only 2-0.
Well, if the North Stars, I mean, they are currently in front of the Ice Dogs at the moment up there in Newcastle. They'd still be in front of the Bears. However, it would still keep pace, be able to keep pace with the Stars. The Mustangs, if they take the points, they're still a ways back. And the Ice obviously now in front of them, given their 6-point weekend here at the O'Brien Group Arena.
Would you pull your abacus out? Recheck that mathematical calculation.
Well, I got to save it for my tax return this week. So here's Burke now with Stringer and goes to Bright, the trailer. Bright tried to get through to Stringer, and Funes' shin pad, which was on the ice, managed to negate that play. Back now here to Lowe now. Lowe trying to cut towards penalty coming up now, this time in favor of the Bears, as Kalashnikov is going to be the offending player. And he can't believe it either.
Happy.
And so
the question is, did he shoot when he shouldn't have?
Well, I don't know. The primer may have failed to strike. Let's have a look at this. Here's Lowe. Or there may be a hook. I don't know.
Well,
I think that's his body position, really.
There wasn't a lot in that, was
No. So, Kalashnikovs may feel hard done by that call. It's irrelevant. It's relevant, though, as Strukov's shot goes wide. And another penalty coming up. And
Burns. Is it Burns or what?
Wow, Michael Burns going back to the box. Really?
Something happened.
We can't stay out of there tonight.
Stick in the head.
And, well, that's not excellent, Mr. Burns.
He didn't see it there, but
yeah. High stick. Okay.
That's certainly not what the Bears wanted, because they had an opportunity there to cash in.
Well, what the referee giveth, he taketh away in terms of a power play. And it's 4 minutes too, because blood drawn apparently on Andrew Erzen. And there's blood on the ice, so this is going to be a clean-up job.
And on top of that, mate, it's going to be a death knell for the Bears, I would think, because that's 4 minutes of an 8-minute remainder.
Yeah.
That's not what you want.
So this is going to be a tough mountain to climb for the Bears. We go back to that equation in terms of the finals. So the Mustangs pick up the 3 points. They go to 19. They will leapfrog the ice, even though they've played 2 more games. The Bears, if they come back and win this, they'll be 1 point behind Newcastle. But if Newcastle win, they'll be on 27 points, and they'll jump the Thunder. And then the Bears will be 3 points behind Thunder. There we go. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And I don't think he did that on purpose.
Oh,
he
no.
just had his stick up and was coming across.
Yep.
You know, the funny thing is we haven't heard from our mate Stan. I would have thought Stan the man would have sent a little tweeter over here with some highly intellectual comment.
Well, I'm not sure if he's watching, because he's probably still upset about the Thunder getting trounced 6-2 last night by the CBR Brave, who we're told, I mentioned earlier, that the game will be rescheduled for 7 o'clock Central Standard Time against the Adelaide Adrenaline in Adelaide. Their Canada Day Classic.
I wonder how that goes with their fans.
Yeah, well, ain't much else to do in Adelaide, is there? Well, we're having a shot at every capital
city.
city.
Singing Nickelback, dude. And they have more time to do that.
Oh,
okay.
Well, sell it to them, why don't you, Rod? I'm waiting for Celine Dion. It hasn't made an appearance yet.
Hey, listen, Shania Twain's coming out here, and I got a special arrangement with her, man. So there you go.
Okay, well, I don't think I'll, I don't think I'll ask any more about that. But In terms of the hockey, 4-on-4. Oh, no. We're just going into uncharted territory here, aren't we?
And we haven't had any, like, condiment jokes or anything this year either. Man.
Yeah, I think
so. We should be in uncharted territory.
I think it ran its course. So, as they squeezed most of that out of the bottle, as one moved out here to Ferguson. Davies with a one-timer, and Strukov takes the puck away through centre. 2-on-2. Here they go. Strukov. Well, he looks like he was hauled to the ice, appealing for a penalty. Play continues. Here's Davies now. Drops it off to McMahon. Davies shoots, backdoor, and just wide of the net. And Ferguson goes down, and now we got a penalty. And Dutois is complaining his innocence. Trip the call on Ferguson. As Ferguson explains the situation to Kimlin. Oh, there we go. Here's Celine Dion. Oh, hook there. Oh, no. All right, someone going to...
I think the Titanic's coming, dude.
No.
They've resurrected it.
Figuratively or literally? It looks like the Bears are hitting the iceberg at the moment. So with the 2-0 scoreline with 8 minutes to go. And thankfully that song is over. The Mustangs power play certainly isn't. And they've got a 5-on-3. And they've got a 4 minute and a 2 minutes, so 6 minutes of power play. Obviously the overlap will see it about 3 or 4 or 5, as depending obviously if puck doesn't travel into the twine. As picked up now here by Ferguson. Well, that pass was chipped up. Terrell Clare couldn't get to it there for the Bears. It's moved across to Burke. Now here to Ferguson, trying to isolate Kimlin. Davies draws his player to the ice. The puck goes through the stick of Burke, and they'll get take number 2. 1:23 until Dutois can rejoin the action. Burke shoots, hits the iron. And a good screen in front there provided by Brendan McDowell. Davies to Ferguson, near side of the net. Ferguson back to Burke, and that shot is into the netting, and we'll get a whistle.
Well, you know, I always tell my guys, if you're in the zone, take the shot. And sometimes I think these guys are waiting for something extra special to happen instead of taking the shot and making something happen, you know?
So 39 seconds remaining, and that's until 38 until Kalashnikovs can rejoin the action, and then it'll be a 5-on-3 here for the Mustangs. There's that shot from Davies blocked there by Fuse. Ferguson with a follow-up, and that was over the scone of Anthony Kimlin. Burke puts this one back in, looking here for McDowell, Brendan McDowell. As, well, good job there by Lowe to muscle his man and gain a short-handed mark here for the Bears. Looking to the top of the slot, saw the hit coming, but Ferguson pulled out and got the puck away instead. Here's Davies, just onside. Nice play here between him and McDowell, but broken up even.
Good back check there.
Even better there by Annesley, as Schlamp was away and behind the plate and would have been in 1-on-0. And a possible short-handed opportunity. Davies' shot is blocked again by Brian Funes. He's probably had about 4 or 5 shot blocks this game. Back now here to Burke. Kalashnikovs takes his place. One-timer and a good save there from Kimlin as Ferguson went looking for the third Mustangs goal. Burke slides it across, and again, and I think that went across the crease as Kalashnikovs is winding up. A shot from Davies, and that trickles through, and rejoining the action here is Dutois. And the Bears have 4 penalty killers now. Back to Ferguson at the point. Broken stick on the ice. Kalashnikovs. Ferguson to Burke at the back door. Just couldn't control the puck. Ferguson calling for it on the point. Has it now. Ferguson across. Kalashnikovs saved with ease by Anthony Kimlin.
That's right. He just read that so well. Just come across and there was nothing for him, you know? And I just can't say enough about the game that he's playing.
Yeah, well, it looked like he was using the force with that puck. Just went straight into his glove.
I'm going to ask you a question because you're smarter than me, okay?
In theory.
Would you agree that it looks like they're trying to go upstairs on him?
Yeah, they're trying the same play. They're
absolutely.
just trying to isolate the same play, yeah. So, I mean, they might have to try something different because Kimlin's aware of it too.
Absolutely.
McMahon. He has the puck and 57 seconds left on a 5-on-4. The Bears, this will be an interesting, if the Mustangs don't score on this power play, that means the Bears will have killed off 9 power plays tonight. As McMahon, though, his shot trickles through and Kimlin has to kick this out. That one's fired all the way up ice. And 5 minutes remaining, 37 seconds left on the penalty to Burns. That was the original penalty for high-sticking Andrew Erzin. And he'll get to rejoin the party, but it's not much of a party in terms of the Bears. Here's Kalashnikov's his shot, and again read by Kimlin, and we'll have a face-off.
Well, still 4 minutes left, and I would have said that if I had 4 minutes worth of power play, I could bury this thing, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But now, there's still enough time here. There's my girlfriend singing too, buddy. There's still enough time here for the Bears to pull this out.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to stay out of the penalty box, number one.
Absolutely. They need to keep their head screwed on, kill the 19 seconds, and then let someone like Lowe, Jaff's Turtle. Hearing Celine Dion at a hockey game makes me want to cry in my shell. The things you could say there.
Not king of the world, top of the world, or whatever the line is. I only know the meme. the meme on there. He's Lowe now. Lowe's sprinting away and shoots. Oh, what a save by Pickett. He hasn't had much to do this period, but when called upon, he has been excellent. Strukov rides the check. Jones sweeps it out now here to Davies with Ferguson. Mustangs have shortened the bench here in this last 10 minutes. Ferguson has the puck. The trailer is Jones, and his shot goes wide. Davies now. We are back to 5-on-5. I think that's the first time I've said that this period as far as the Bears are concerned. And we get a whistle.
Well, Bears in the woods. Stan Scott, funny. AHL game day. Thunder have played the Brave 4 times and done 4 road trips. Things aren't that bad. All the best, boys. Thanks, Stan. We're missing you.
We are indeed. Mr. Stan Scott's over there at the Perth Thunder. And they just had the one game this weekend, but right in amongst the Goodall Cup Finals mix are the Perth Thunder. And their personnel right up in the scoring race, 3 of them in the top 5. Here's Dutoit now, gets muscled out there by Kalashnikov's. Good shoulder thrown there. Fedor can't pick up a loose puck. He's got it now, though. But Kalashnikov's has him pretty well worn like a glove. As Dutoit tried to get the puck out, as did Fedor, and that shot up into the netting. We'll get a whistle. So we'll keep an eye on Anthony Kimlin if Ron Kaprowski decides to pull him
He'll
early.
pull him. You betcha, dude.
Yeah. Just depends on how early he'll do so with a 2-goal lead. But, the Bears, they really needed at least 3 points from this weekend. And dropping all 6 would really be a sizable speed bump in their Goodall Cup Finals campaign as we are over the halfway mark of this 2018 season. Here's Dutoit. He fires this one out of the zone. It's gloved down by McMahon. Ferguson picked up by Dutoit. Ran right into the shoulder there of McMahon, and that drive snuffed out. Davies up to center ice to Ferguson. Just backhands this one out. Davies now skates onto the puck. Davies sent it in front, looking for Jones. And he can't do much with it. Davies picks it up just inside the blue line, and well, that's into the netting. But that was a good move there from the Mustangs. So 3:09 to go, and the face-off obviously down in the Bears end. No chance to get Kimlin off the ice. Have to also mention Ross Fisher, father of Luke Fisher, Mustangs player, opened up Ice HQ tonight.
Is it open?
In Reservoir today. So a new rink in Melbourne. And very welcome additional new rink. It's literally 2 streets away from my residence, so I'll be making good use of that. Here's Burke, his shot, and that's turned aside there by Kimlin. But great news for hockey here in Melbourne as the growth of the game continues. Here's Lowe. Out now here to Strukov down the near side. The Bears looking for a couple of late ones and at least force it to the shootout, and that task becoming ever more so difficult as the seconds tick off the clock.
The rink, did it open this morning or what?
Opened this afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a big celebration?
There was. I'm sure there'll be social media evidence thereof. I haven't checked it since it ticked over at 1 o'clock.
Are you playing in the beer league?
No, I'm only allowed to play one night a week under current arrangements. Gonna have to dedicate some time to the family.
Okay.
That is Low now. Back now here to Claire. Plead the 5th on that one. Here's Burns now. Sending cross. Oh, it's almost tipped. I'm not sure that would have been high sticking though. The stick blade was over the shoulder there of Burns. as the Bears looking for it in front. Now here's Strukov with a point. Got plenty of traffic in front of Pickinen. Sends it across here to Clare. He shoots and Pickinen keeps it out. And a 2-on-1 coming the other way with Strukov.
Strukov was thinking about that one.
Across now to McDowell, and he was rubbed out there by Clare. With 2:05 remaining. Kimlin remains in the crease, and Burke has the puck. Burke now, top of the circle, comes across, shouldered to the ice by Strukov. Nice hit there by the Sydney Bears defenseman, and he lets him know what the number of that bus was. Here's Schlamp now. Schlamp moving in, shooting, and well, that was well wide. Kimlin started.
Was thinking, dude.
Yeah, just got caught. Annesley now. Sent in front to Lowe. Lowe, as we got 6 skaters on now here for the Bears. Sent in front by Steven, fired up by Kalashnikov. Is this going to try? It's going to go wide. That's going to be not icing as Jones beats everyone to it. Jones centered the puck, and Funes rescued everyone in terms of the Sydney Bears jerseys. Picked up now here by Vasquez, breaking in. Vasquez's shot is stuffed before it got to the angle. Dutois, Funes. Now Vasquez behind the nets. And sent to Lowe, who'd camped in the low slot. It sent the rest of the ice, and an empty net goal.
Who scored that one?
Sean Jones picks it up for the Mustangs. And that's game over. And 3 points they needed to keep their season alive here at the O'Brien Group Arena.
Well, you know, people say, why do you do that sort of thing? But you have to do it, man. And at the end of the day, for the Bears, it was unfortunate. For the Mustangs, well, that's what you want.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. 1 minute and 4 seconds left in the game. It's all over, but
Mid-season momentum of the Bears run into a little bit of a brick wall here. They're playing so well. I mean, last time they came into Melbourne, when they had the split round, they took, as they did this weekend, they took 5 of a possible 6. Now they walk away with nothing. And they're going to have to go back to the drawing board next week and get their season back on track, because that's offside, as they were looking really, really good there for a few weeks. But no, it's just one weekend. There's plenty of, there's 14 games left for them. 13 after tonight, I should say. But
you got to be careful, though. You're in sort of a spot in the season where you really want to come away with some points, you know? Yeah, you don't want to be leaving it to the last week or 2 of the season. No one's really going to catch the CBR Brave. It's really a question of spots 2 to 4 and how the formation of that will transpire. That being said, the Brave, it's not a guarantee they're going to finish first either. As this scrum behind the nets, finally roofed out there by McMahon, picked up by Annesley at center ice, across to Funes with 13 seconds left. Glove down by McCoy. And Funes gets it right back and sends a long-range one on, but that's not going to matter as the Melbourne Mustangs skate away with a 3-0 lead. 3 points for them and a shutout for Petri Pitkinen here tonight. And I have to say, a much better play game than Friday night. There was way more momentum, a lot better flow. Their offense was far more dangerous. They didn't capitalize as many times as they should have, but if you're the coach, you'd be pretty happy with that. So, and if you're the Bears, I think, like you said, they wanted to come away with something. They would have loved to have come away with 6 points. They didn't come away with anything. And really, in the scheme of things, if it wasn't for Kimlin, it could have easily been 6-0.
Yeah, I mean, he was arguably...
Oh, man, he made 3 saves that were just awesome, possum.
And look, Petri Pitkinen did likewise at the other end. Wasn't as busy, but it really was a goaltending jewel. The Bears will have the Melbourne Ice next week at home. With the Mustangs, they'll have a doubleheader against the CBR Brave. And, well, if there was a split, obviously, last weekend in Canberra, can the Mustangs pull off a double at home and keep themselves in season 2018?
Well, you know, anything's possible. And I mean, at the end of the day, who'd have thought that the Mustangs could go to the Braves barn and beat them in the first game? You would have thought that if anybody would have the jump on anyone, it'd be the Brave on the Mustangs in that first game, and that wasn't the case. So I've always said, I've looked at this lineup and I've said, you guys have the best lineup that you've had in 6 years, I believe. You just need to put it together, and they've got the talent. They just need to gel better and go for it. So they came out away here. They were commanding in this game, They beat the Brave. They beat Melbourne Ice, okay, right? So there's, nothing going on that they can't be done. Sydney Bears have found their mid-season slump starting Adelaide. That's where we usually start a win streak. That's from Sheepy. Well, I think they'll go away from here and they'll be very sad because they could have easily come away with 6 points.
Indeed. And as Sheepy pointed out, the Bears should have taken the points in Adelaide too. But that will do it here from the O'Brien Group Arena in Melbourne. It was the Mustangs with a 3-0 shutout of the Sydney Bears. And they will take on the CBR Brave next weekend in a doubleheader where we will be live from 5 o'clock Australian Eastern Time on the Saturday and 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Time on the Sunday. Join us then. On behalf of Rod Johns, I'm Steve White, and we hope you've enjoyed this Canada Day edition of the AIHL TV. We'll see you next week.
Oh, Canada, brother. See you then.